How can you know you have a whole human out here who belongs to you and you have no desire to, contact them or talk to them or get to know them? I had the normal childhood or whatever. I did everything that you're supposed to do, go to college, graduate, and everything's all peachy or whatever. But my biological dad, he just was never really involved like that, and that was because he was a byproduct of the criminal justice system. He is a product of crime and addiction in regards to drugs, whether it was selling drugs or using drugs. And so that was really the thing that came in between him and me, I guess. Sometimes as a little girl, I would just be like, if I do get the chance to meet him, I just know he's gonna love me. He will just I'll just be the perfect person or whatever. And so to see that fantasy just not be a reality, ultimately, I can count on one hand how many times I had experiences and encounters with him in person. And it was just the fact that I really wasn't able to see him, not only because he didn't live within the same state that I was in, but because he was just always in prison. Growing up, from what I've been told, that wasn't him. And just to see how somebody's whole life can get off track when you just dabble into the wrong things. I would find myself daily just praying for peace and serenity for my dad and not really for myself. And it wasn't until later, until I was graduating undergrad, that I really realized I did not have an inner peace within myself. And it was because of that. There was just a burden on me because of it. And just within myself, I just had a lot of confusion. So I was at work one day and I just was Googling my dad, his name. We have the last name Brown, so it was kind of difficult. But I ended up finding him. He was in prison. I just was going through different means and routes to try to contact him. And so eventually I got him to put me on the call list, so I was able to speak to him, and I sent him letters and things like that. And so it eventually ended up me visiting him in prison, and so that was interesting. It was a good time for me to really express myself and how I've been feeling all these years about him and just his lack of activity within my life. Eventually, he got out of prison, so before I came up here to DC to go to law school, I made another effort to go visit him. Obviously, there are some issues for me that are still unresolved with him, but I feel as though that peace that I was missing within myself, I kind of was able to restore it a bit. I'm okay with what happens with that between me and my dad. Obviously, I would like for, it to be a wonderful relationship. I want him to be there when I get married, if that happens. But, be there if I have children and things like that, things that you expect parents to be able to do. But like I said, I've just realized that I'm okay with whatever happens. And just through this journey of finding him and getting to know him, sort of, I feel like I am more able to walk boldly, fearlessly, and just fiercely within my purpose. My daily prayer when I pray to God is to just ask him to use me the way that he sees fit. And so I'm more comfortable knowing that, whatever happens, as long as God orders my steps, I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing. My name is Tristan Brown. This is my story, and I am real.